Welcome to the CraveCast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Eric Mack, and I'm joined once again by Stephen Beecham, Kelsey Adams, Bonnie Burton, Jeff Sparkman in the CNET studios in San Francisco, and especially from Minnesota via Skype, it's Anthony DeMonico.
Oh my God, he's like our comic relief for the podcast. That hat is cracking me up.
I knew it was coming, and I still laughed.
Oh, I'm getting rave memories. Or Ren Fair.
So, as always, if you want to join the conversation for the CraveCast, we're going to be talking about drones today. You can tweet us at Crave, and you can also join our live stream chat room at, I believe it's livestream.com/CraveCast, or just Google Crave Livestream. I, today, am live from my hometown, Taos, New Mexico, in the offices of the award-winning Taos News, my hometown newspaper and one-time employer who lets me borrow their broadband. And one of the big stories here around Taos this past week that the Taos News covered and CNET readers might be interested in was the day-long communications blackout that our entire town experienced last week. A fiber optic cable outside town was cut, and apparently that single cable is responsible for all the cell phone service, all DSL and cable internet access, and some of the landline service in town as well. So simply texting your friends was suddenly replaced with having to guess where they were and literally drive over to talk to them face to face. It was crazy.
That headline
I ended up driving.
That headline would have been great if it was like, "Help, I'm trapped in the 1880s." Like, I feel like that would have been better. Because even in the 1980s, we had really big, giant cell phones, right? Am I thinking right? Yeah.
Did we have pagers in the 80s?
Yeah, we did.
We have them yet?
Oh, I miss pagers.
Large brick-sized accessories. iBricks.
iBricks.
So, next time you come to Taos, which I highly recommend, you might want to call or text ahead to make sure you can get in touch with us. Or better yet, you could just send a drone to scout things out and see the beautiful scenery for you, which brings us to today's topic of discussions, which is drones. This thing keeps hurting me.
Eric, where did that drone land?
Totally works.
Eric, are you okay?
Everything's so...
That
He's
landing.
already got kids, so.
Hey, drones are the future.
Yeah, I like that. It's like his voice is suddenly high pitched as soon as that. Careful!
Eric's tragic haircut.
Yeah, we're dedicating.
You can't podcast and drone fly at the same time. It's just not possible.
It's really dangerous. I got this stuck in my dog's tail once. It was really tragic, actually.
Here, lift up the drone. Show us how big is the drone? Show us the drone size. I'm not judging you.
Yeah, it's how you pilot it, Bonnie. This is an extreme micro drone.
Yeah.
And it's pretty nice. My daughter loves it. And drones are, quickly revolutionizing a number of parts of our lives, which we want to talk about today. The least of which is it's at least providing these gorgeous shots that I think Stephen has of Ireland to help us celebrate the other thing happening today, which is St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Which I would be remiss in not mentioning as a member of the McNamara clan of Limerick.
Wow.
This is all shot with drone, just to give you an idea of what is possible today. I mean, normally you'd need like $100,000 fee to pay for a helicopter for these kind of shots.
Yeah, these look like those relaxation videos that you can watch on Netflix to like meditate, where there's
right.
There's this really nice footage.
It must have a big range.
Yeah, the camera must be great quality too.
It's got to be 4K. It looks 4K.
Yeah. Wow, no condos there. Why am I in San Francisco? Look at all that open space and cliffs to.
I went looking last night for some other kind of St. Patrick's Day footage, and even a day before St. Patrick's Day, there was already a number of people had recorded footage of early St. Patrick's Day parades.
I have to say, I really like this footage of like Ireland over us.
Yeah, you like that?
It's like I feel like we're gods.
Just mix it in a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's like I feel like I should be doing inspirational. Yeah, send money to Drone Church.
Okay, let's look at the.
There we go. Oh God.
Okay, this is where is this one? Let me see.
Is this Pittsburgh?
St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Man, they walk slow.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay.
What are they in slow motion for?
Well, things are
They had a lot to drink
things are a
already.
little
To the
slower
drone.
in Buffalo.
I don't know if that part's drone footage
Here
or
we go.
not.
There we go.
There's the drone footage.
It's
Love
pretty
it.
cool.
That's cool.
And
So I
here
mean, you know,
is
really,
Houston.
5 years ago,
There we go.
you'd have to have a helicopter to get this footage, and now the next day it's everywhere online.
Or they would do it with like some sort of crane. You know, it's
Yeah,
always like some. When I was at the Rose Bowl parade a
Right.
few years back, they always had all these crane cameras, and now I'm wondering if Rose Bowl parade would be better with drone footage at this point.
Definitely.
This is great.
This
Oh,
is
techno.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We're basically having a drone tour of every.
That drone's a little too close to those girls.
Is it though?
I think from the way she was folding her arms, that girl thought so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way to be kind of creepy with the drone footage there, Sparkman.
I'm not the one who zoomed in.
I was just saying, if this is Pittsburgh, it looks really nice from above.
It does.
Don't go down any lower. Look at all that green.
Sorry, Pittsburgh.
Sorry, Pittsburgh. I know, right? Oops. Last 5 viewers. I love this footage. And it's great because when you see it from that distance, you realize how I think they can go up pretty high. I don't know. Have they done any sort of test to see how far up in the atmosphere drones can fly?
They can fly pretty
Well,
high.
when Adam Savage, I wrote that story about Adam Savage testing out that it was the DJI drone.
Yeah. Those are
And he had a really, I guess we'll just show a video of that at some point, but there's like a really nice camera attached to that, and he took it really high up. And I was wondering, how far can you take a drone before it starts freezing? Can you take it up that high? I don't know.
I mean, it depends on the drone, right? I mean,
Yeah, I guess so.
Google and other companies are working on drones that'll basically be in the upper atmosphere. So
Right.
it's
And
all
there's
just a
gonna
matter of
be-
technology.
Yeah, and NASA's working on some space drones, so I guess it just doesn't really. It's all about the outer coating of it. Techno really
And,
does
you know,
make everything sound or look cooler, doesn't it?
At least it's not from a distance.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we decided we wanted to talk about drones today, and we were going back through the Crave archives, and there's just an insane amount of stuff we've covered about drones, like literally just from the last year. I mean, we've written on some interesting footage of there's drones that have flown over killer whales as they're migrating. There's drones that have gone into the ruins of Chernobyl and given us a tour of that. There's drones that have flown through the world's biggest cave. And you were talking just now, Bonnie, about you know, how far can these drones go? And technically, NASA's working on a drone submarine that could be launched in the 2040s to literally go explore the ocean of Titan, one of Saturn's moons. So,
Oh, that's so cool.
you know, the potential of drones is kind of incredible. And we wanted to talk today about the potential and the problems of drones. This is the Titan submarine drone
Yeah.
that is
The Kraken.
NASA's working on right now.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm waiting to see
Kraken
footage.
Ma.
I'm waiting for Nessie to pop up.
Oh
This
no,
is how
giant
much.
space squid. That's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
definitely giant space squid.
I know. When's our off-world colony going to be there? Oh, that's great.
So, what do you guys think about drones? Is this the kind of thing that like you actually get excited about, or is it just kind of another
No,
weird novelty?
I'd like to do a quick survey of us. How many of us own drones right now? Like I don't have,
I have a drone.
Or a
Well, my dad. I bought
well,
one
I
for my
shouldn't
dad.
say. We should say drone or quadcopter because there's a difference between the two. And
What is
some-
the difference? What is the distinction?
Bonnie?
Because I feel like
Put
a
you on
drone
the
is
spot,
anything that
Now, the
fly on
reason
its
I
own.
bring this up is every time we write about any kind of quadcopter or drone story on CNET, and we only have we only have the like the tag for drones. There's no tag for quadcopter. We get a bunch of comments from people going, "This is not a drone. This is not a drone. It's a quadcopter," because there's a lot of bad, I think, PR with drones, especially with military, because obviously military use unmanned vehicles, flying vehicles, these drones for military warfare. So I think some people are trying to get away from the usage of generic usage of the word
Yeah, well,
drone.
and I think conversely, people feel like calling your quadcopter a drone is like trying to make it sound more badass than it
Yeah,
is.
it's
It
like-
doesn't really have a payload. It's just
It's like calling your Gremlin a Lamborghini. It's not. No, I don't know. But it's. I love quadcopters. I think they're great. But I think there's a difference between a quadcopter you got like on Amazon or Radio Shack and a drone that's military grade that can wipe out a whole town. So
Yeah,
I think
about
that's
like
the
$10.
issue. By $10. Yeah. Eventually, is this why Radio Shack went under? Is because the quadcopters were destroying towns?
I liked that drug smuggling drone. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
A million and one uses.
according
Yeah.
So according to Rotor Guru in our YouTube chat room, 400 feet, Bonnie, is the legal height to fly
Oh.
consumer
Wait.
quadcopters.
But that's that's just the law. That's not the actual how far they can go up. It's just how far you're allowed to go up, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Airspace.
Right.
I'm just curious how far. Like, I'm waiting for our first plane crash story where too many people had drones that went too high and knocked a plane out. So that's what I'm kind of like birds getting caught in the engine.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm sorry. I'm giving all these horrible ideas for people where they're like,
So there was at
let's
least
test
one.
it.
There was at least one emergency landing. There was an emergency landing somewhere in the U.S. because a drone got too close to a commercial flight.
Oh,
So
I
it
remember
has
that.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we should continue our talk and not let me give any more bad ideas.
Let's put a cattle prod on the front of
We'll
one.
get to the bad idea later.
I'm just waiting for the lawsuits to come piling in. Well, Bonnie said, yeah. So let's anyway.
Well, that fire throwing drone.
Yeah.
Tyrone the drone. I mean, that's at the end though. I'm sorry, Eric. Let's get back to it.
I mean, I guess I feel like, the main potential is there's some really cool potential for science, obviously. I mean, we've written about drones flying like literally into and over volcanoes.
This whale one's
This
great.
is the whale one.
Yeah.
The whale one is really cool.
Yeah. Of the what is that five of the
Killer
whales
whales.
that are left? Is that the 5 that are left?
Oh.
Sorry.
That's a pod on our podcast.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
They're so majestic.
But also drones have been used to kind of check out the Fukushima radiated areas, and
Yeah.
there's really interesting potential for that. But
The
I
Chernobyl
think what
one's
we're-
great. The Chernobyl one's great because how often are we gonna? None of us are gonna take a trip
Yeah.
to Chernobyl, so it's kind of cool. I mean, it's
Right.
cool and also eerie, kind of like the Auschwitz tour that there was done with the drone as well,
Yeah, that is a very
where
cool
it's just
one.
an eerie tour of destruction and decay and.
And sort of similarly, Bonnie, that one you did about the drone that toured the Napa earthquake damage.
Yeah.
They can go into places that people can't go yet, check out disaster
Yeah.
situations, see if
That was
people
great.
need rescuing.
This is like the first good use of
I
the
know.
drone, too.
This
that we
was
saw,
last year
you know.
when we had that huge earthquake, and I mean not huge by 1989 standards, but still it was pretty amazing.
Pretty
how
disastrous.
much damage that was done in Napa. And I wrote this story, and this was kind of like before we had a lot of drone footage of just regular people taking drone footage, and he was doing this for insurance purposes. But it was really interesting to see all the damage, and he was going in and out of buildings that had some pretty massive destruction from this earthquake. And it's kind of cool because you see people in the street like waving at the drone, because this is before like everyone had a drone, everyone had a quadcopter, so they're like, "Hey, look at the sky." But this is pretty amazing footage. And unfortunately, when we have that big earthquake that they keep saying it's going to happen here,
Yeah.
we're going to get more
Now,
drone
did
footage.
this guy get fined?
I don't think so. This
No.
is a long time ago.
No,
before,
this is in August in 2014, so this is before all those restrictions were in place. He didn't go up too high. I mean, it was mostly just building rooftops. When we get to the Adam Savage footage of him doing the quadcopter footage, he goes really, really high up because he wants to see how far. I mean, he's a Mythbuster, so of course he
Right.
wants to see how
Test the
far
limit.
high up he can take the drone.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy high, and then he brings it back down pretty quickly because he doesn't want to freak everybody out. But that's the kind of. I mean, that's what we do when we get electronics. We want to test their limits, right? We want to see how high they can go, how fast they can go. So
Can we see that?
I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
the one.
We can talk about other stuff in between. Sorry.
So there was some like I remember maybe a year ago somebody had used a drone to basically get similar footage, but it was of tornado wreckage in
Yeah.
the Midwest.
Yeah.
And like flew over that and then sold that to a TV station and was fined $10,000 because it was an unregistered commercial use. Well, because
Oh,
commercial use
'cause you
was
sell the
still.
footage.
I don't know if those.
Yeah. Once you sell
Right.
the
and
footage.
I don't know if that's even.
Yeah. Once you sell the footage, it's
Or like the beer delivery drones or the Amazon drones. And that's the other thing. Are you guys excited about the potential for like drone delivery services and what Amazon was trying to do, which apparently the latest round of regulations don't jive with?
Yeah. Let's hear from our jester. I feel like our jester hasn't spoken.
And
Come
we
on,
cut to Dan
Anthony.
Graziano.
Yeah, I mean, I use Amazon all the time. So the idea of
Perhaps.
having drones being able to deliver things more quickly and
The jingling.
probably, yeah, sorry, I'm jingling. Not necessarily more safely to us. So it's, I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth on the delivery drone aspect of things just because I don't necessarily want to see, thousands of drones buzzing about over
Yeah.
the lovely town of St. Paul. But
But you might get
Same-
snowed in, right?
well,
You might be glad to have one come to your window.
I don't know. I feel like wind chill and ice would take those drones down pretty quickly.
Probably.
They'd freeze in the sky, I would assume. So, I mean, it's weird because Parks and Recreation, during their final season, they did it because it was set in, was it 2017? It was great
Yeah.
because they totally covered drone stuff. They had kind of like a fake Google called grizzle.com. And it was like a combination of Amazon and Google using big data to spy on everyone in the town in Pawnee. And it was great because they had this whole episode about drones. And of course, Ron Swanson shoots one down because he's like, what is this doing over my,
Right.
property? And that's not a big joke because in Wyoming and Colorado, they're, considering legislation where it's okay to shoot a drone if it goes over your property. So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of drones used as skeet shooting. And I don't know what's going to end up happening, but if you're going to start using drones for delivering everything from books to wine, better be careful where you fly over because you could get shot down.
Well, yeah, and then there's the possibility, like, if a drone comes into your yard and films you, you don't know if it's just going to a neighbor to deliver something, or
Right.
maybe it's some peeping Tom, as somebody mentions in the chat room.
Oh,
Paparazzi
God.
could misuse them.
It's going to be like Neighbors Gone Wild, Drones Gone Wild
Right.
footage. Yeah, you don't know. And also, I'm really surprised the paparazzi hasn't gotten it all into this.
I have seen drones spying on Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
I have seen.
Because
Oh,
story
well,
there's
that
about
makes
so,
sense.
There's
So,
so
paparazzi
many.
is doing it.
Well, there's so many backyards in the Hollywood Hills of crazy crap that's going down with celebrities
Yeah.
that if they were smart, the paparazzi would see. This is like bad idea podcast.
No,
but
bad
it's
ideas
like,
is like, how come they haven't gone to the nude beaches yet?
yeah. Yeah. Well, no, those nude beaches
they-
aren't exactly the most picturesque,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying. But yeah.
I think that they're not there pretty much tells
Right,
you.
but see, if I had a drone, these are all the places. I would be going over Skywalker Ranch. I'd be going over the Pentagon. I'd be going over Body Farm, which is where they keep all the corpses for the FBI to check out to do research. Like, I would be going over the worst places possible. Well, Skywalker Ranch is awesome, but Body Farm would be horrible with drone footage of
I would imagine so.
corpses rotting. So someone do that.
Unless you're into that kind of thing.
Well, someone did crash at the White House.
Well,
Oh, that's right. That's right, in the White House front yard. I don't know why I called it yard.
We did see.
it is kind of
Hey,
We
you
did
kids,
see a
get off my
it's a
drone.
really big yard.
The White House lawn. Why did I call it a yard? Like it's like some sort of hillbilly front yard.
Last year and got some interesting footage.
Anyway.
So yeah, one crashed in the White House lawn by apparently a drunk former employee.
Ain't that always the
Who-
way?
Take this government and shove it.
We've
Yeah.
Yeah, we've also seen drones caught smuggling drugs. Like that's actually happened. What was it? 3 kilos of meth apparently.
That just seems so
a drone
unsubtle to me.
crash carrying.
Yeah. Well,
There it
that's
is right
that
there.
spawned the whole debate of if your robots or drones do illegal things, are you held responsible? Like the
This one was autonomous too. It was doing
Yeah.
its own thing.
Yeah, I love.
No one
I
was
wa-
driving
I
it.
want to be on that jury.
It double-crossed its owner and
Yeah.
set up
Yeah.
in business for itself.
Yeah, it's like it saw too many episodes of Breaking Bad and thought I could do this.
The drone was all, I don't know where this stuff came from. It's
Yeah,
not mine.
It's not mine.
Look, I don't even have hands.
I'm just carrying.
Here's the drone actually right here.
Oh.
It was a 6. It had 6 copters. So what did they
Hexacopter.
Hexacopter.
Could that copter,
Where's the dodecacopter,
could,
huh?
could that copter look any more guilty? Look at that. That's like a copter mugshot. That is a mugshot. I mean,
They're rebooting the
lighting-
wire.
It's under the
I guess.
bright lights.
Yeah, it looks slightly drunk. Yeah, it's great. I love that. I can't wait till we start having like drone and robot mugshots because their owners are not going to take responsibility and they're like, "Well, it's the AI. It's learning. It's not my fault."
Anthony, didn't you cover some other stories of drones kind of misbehaving or being used in nefarious ways that I'm leaving out?
Yeah, so I did those two. I did the White House and the meth smuggler. But then we had there was a tech blogger at I think Popular Science who went on Fox and Friends to teach drone safety.
Oh yeah.
And just as he's starting to talk to them about how to keep your drone out of trouble, he crashes it into the cameraman.
Meant to do that.
But yeah, it's Fox News, so you never know. Yeah, I love that. I love that he's trying to teach safety, and the safety does not happen.
Although I'd assume, like Eric over there, it's kind of hard to fly a drone while trying to talk and podcast or be on video at the same time. So cut him a little bit of slack. And I'm not just saying that because I used to write for Popular Mechanics.
I've been doing an optical course this whole time.
Yeah. I love that every time Eric tries to do the drone, it sounds like a dentist office gone wrong. Really, really scary sound that drone or that.
Do you guys want to see the segment of the guy crashing?
Yes.
I have it here.
Let's see it.
Hang on a second.
Business. It could come with some real dangers for everyday Americans. Dave Mosher's here.
Danger.
Online editor of Popular Science magazine. He's here to break down how drones work. Now the government might have good reason to regulate them. Dave, first off, how they work. We saw it a little in the hall. That looks like a remote control, and that looks like a drone.
That's right. You got a remote control. You got a drone.
Wait. They need to back this up. That's clearly too technical an explanation.
Move it around.
And you
Quadcopter.
think that probably is the drone that landed at the White House.
It looks eerily similar to the
Oh,
one.
Fox
This is
News.
a DJI Fancy 2
Making
Vision
it political.
Plus, which means there's a nice little gimbal
Obama
camera
let
on the
that
bottom,
thing
so
land,
it'll
right?
stabilize while you're flying
Yeah.
around,
Thanks,
but the safety guards,
Thanks,
the markings,
Obama.
everything tells me, I see these all the time, that this was the same drone. Or
Look at that
We're looking at the
mugshot.
screen right. That's the one from the White House that apparently was driven by
When
somebody
is he
who
going
was
to
a
crash
cops
it? I want to see him crash it.
Yeah.
You're
It's
sober, though,
it's
right?
coming up.
Violence here.
It's probably about 30 seconds.
They're
in.
doing journalism. This is called journalism.
We'd like to see exactly what its
Set up.
capabilities are. But why is it important to regulate in your mind?
Why will women like
it's
this?
important to regulate because these are really powerful little devices. There was a kid in Brooklyn who was actually killed by one. He was 19 a year or two ago. Like these can
Really?
hurt
I didn't
you.
hear about that.
I don't
Not
believe
particular
this.
model. It's a lower power one than he was using, but
It's
important to
Fox.
understand that.
Was
you
he
have a
holding
very
on to it as he
fast-moving
jumped off a
propeller on these
cliff?
things. You don't want to
Did
get
it
them
have a
around
machine
children.
gun
You don't want to
attached?
fly them into planes and cause accidents.
Which is why you're going to need a license.
Would you follow a drone off a cliff?
This is a Phantom DJI or DJI.
Granted, I'm not sure what they need commercially.
Super camera on
What they're
it.
going to use for.
Oh, I
and we
think
don't
we-
know
I think we
why
reviewed
those
that.
particular companies were
Yeah,
granted the
we
licenses.
definitely.
Right. I will say
Don't
though,
mess
that
with
they're
Texas.
really useful and they're really
Come on,
awesome.
crash
Sure.
the dang
We'll give
thing.
you a flying test.
God.
All right, here he goes. He's going to crash it.
All right, let's
We
see.
should also point out that this has got some sort of a little.
There we go.
camera on it.
There we go.
We've got the
Big
output.
brother. Big brother.
So you can fly these over fields. You can see how your crops are doing. You can check out the gutters. See if
Check
there's
out your
backup
crops.
up there. There's all sorts of really useful, sort of somewhat benign uses. But once the FAA figures out how to license these, you're going to see them probably everywhere. And
I mean, famously, Amazon says they're going to use these to drop off packages.
Now that
Can
I
you
wouldn't
visualize that?
I could. What I'm worried about those is those are big drones, and safety is going to be an issue with those.
Can you turn the drone
Hit the
around
cameraman.
So the camera's looking at
Hit
us?
the cameraman. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. See,
That was pretty scary,
Yeah.
actually.
Kristen, that was a great duck.
Well,
Oh my
Okay,
A
so
commenter in our chat room here says that one issue is it didn't have GPS lock and then expected it to fly in an enclosed space.
See, this is
which
what happens when you don't have geeks running things, and yay geeks, because this is the thing. If you start having all these like people running drones and quadcopters that don't know what they're doing, because I don't read the manual before I set things like this off. Who knows what
There
could
are
happen?
manuals?
There, I know, right? So I feel like it's up to us, the smart people, to not let these things happen. But I don't know if we're gonna get to this, but I do love footage of when drones are killed. So I
yeah.
like it when animals attack drones and quadcopters, and this is
Oh, yeah, do you
becoming
have that,
more
Steven?
prevalent.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is the
This is
It's better be the
kangaroo
kangaroo.
attack.
Now keep in mind, this is a mom kangaroo protecting her joey, so this is
Immediately, yeah.
totally respectable for a kangaroo to
To
take
be
down.
fair, kangaroos are supposed to be sort of ill-tempered, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're great boxers, so
Immediately, though, she sees the drone and runs
yeah,
over to
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So great.
Do you have the hawk?
Yeah,
you have the
here's the
hawk
hawk.
too,
So
Steven?
great.
The hawk is my favorite.
Yeah, the hawk's pretty awesome.
Here comes the hawk.
Now here's the thing. This is, animals don't take well to flying mechanical things their size in their area. And birds are notorious for taking down quadcopters and drones. But this is great. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
He just got hot.
Oh, you got to see
blocked.
this.
The
hawked.
slow-mo is awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
The slow mo is great.
oh. Look at this hawk coming in for the kill.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Ah! Nice.
I want one of these where it's paparazzi and like Sean Penn punches the drones.
Yeah, right.
Great.
Hawks are very scary though. I play golf all the time, and I always see hawks just killing other birds all the time. They're like they are ruthless.
And you don't want to go anywhere.
joke.
You can't go anywhere near their nests because they will attack everything and anything.
They're no joke. Yeah.
Mississippi kites are the same way. They're another bird that really are notorious for attacking anything that goes near a tree that has a nest in it. So I don't know why I like seeing drones destroyed by animals, but I feel like that should be a TV show. I would watch that, or at least a YouTube.
When animals attack drones.
There. I would watch that. I would watch endless amount of footage of any animal destroying a drone or a quadcopter. So I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, there's more and more footage, especially a lot of roboticists and drone makers that are trying to make drones look like birds. That's
Wait, just to cause trouble, just purely trolling the animal kingdom.
No, they really want them to look. Well, I mean, this was the whole thing with the military, right? Is they wanted surveillance drones that actually could look like hummingbirds, and they were using in the Middle East. But in the Middle East, there wasn't that kind of bird that existed, so it was kind of.
Well, that's some planning in action.
Yeah, and they may as well have made it a pterodactyl at that point. But
that would be badass,
great. Yeah,
dude.
I know, right? I would love a pterodactyl.
Like, what
drone.
if they made it look too much like a bird? So you just see footage that's just kind of like shaky, you know?
Right. Or big, or
just saying,
actual big bird.
Yeah.
Would be great. But no, they are trying to make them look a little less droney and a little more animal or bird-like or animal-like, so they can get away with surveillance. But the unfortunate part of this is the more you make it look like a bird, the more birds will attack it. So they're having problems.
Should make one that looks like Mothra.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The possibilities are pretty endless, and they're trying to do more and more insect-looking drones so they can have mosquito surveillance and that sort of thing. So we'll see.
Swarm of locust surveillance.
I mean, the military has a lot of money to do this. They can do whatever they want, and once the military rejects it, we get it at stores.
The military should do cat drones because
no, don't show this.
Really effective on the battlefield.
Wasn't this a taxidermy? This taxidermy cat. Oh.
No.
Pee Wee Herman would say this is the luckiest cat in the world.
No one would ever suspect.
Yeah.
Somebody could have warned me about this in advance, y'all.
Hey, military, this is your next drone. Yeah, that no one will notice that at all.
Little warning for the cat lady, people.
Oh.
That guy did it because he loved his cat.
Come on, let's. Do you have a unicorn chaser drone video for Kelsey so she can forget that poor cat?
Oh, I like the Star Wars ones.
Oh yeah, let's do Star Wars ones.
So here's the.
Hey, I want to do one quick call out. Rude Monkey in our chat room
awesome.
pointed out a use. I had never heard of this. The Mayo Clinic, he says, is actually studying drone delivery of blood and plasma to hospitals and clinics instead of using full-size helicopters. So it'd be faster.
Great.
That's pretty cool. I hadn't heard about that.
I can't wait till they use that as a plot line on Vampire Diaries.
Hijacking blood drones.
Just saying.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, no, people could hijack them for money or
Dude,
drinking.
that's so going to be on CSI Cyber.
Yeah, the only problem, CSI Cyber. The only problem with that is if it wrecks, that's a gruesome wreck. If like a blood drone.
Talk about your mugshot, Bonnie.
You do not want a drone that carrying blood to fall on you. That is a bad scene. That's a Carrie moment waiting to happen, but
that'll be in the next reboot.
But that's kind of cool though. That at least they're thinking of, life-saving ways for drones to help us. So, thanks.
So just almost as important as that is Star Wars drones.
Star Wars drones. Star Wars drones.
We have like half a dozen Star Wars drone stories.
If we want to do the one that, so this is the one I wrote about this weekend. So this date on the camera's wrong because just like most of us, we don't set our date right. So this did not happen in 2012 because this quadcopter did not exist then. But this guy suited up his speeder bike vintage toy with a scout trooper on top and then put the camera in the scout trooper's helmet. So you can get the point of view of a scout trooper speeding around like it's indoor, but it's really just a park.
The point of view of a scout trooper speeding around indoor is endless series of fireballs.
I know. This is so cool though because I was so impressed.
He's crashing a lot less than the
there's no Ewoks throwing sticks at him, but I was so impressed at how this. I mean, it looks top heavy, right? It looks like it would fall. And yet it's doing a great job.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, because usually when you put action figures or any kind of toy on a drone, it's going to fall off immediately. But
and Bonnie does, in fact, know this for
I
a fact.
I do. I've tested this out on many things. Chewbacca and drones don't mix. The fur gets caught in the quadcopter fans, just so you know.
Oh, God.
But this is pretty awesome. And the cool thing is that he has, the guy who did this has a hole in, not a hole. He has a whole, God, I'm just so excited. Instructions on how to do this yourself on makezine.com.
Oh, neat.
So you can make this yourself if you have these toys, which I do, which I totally want to do this. I just don't have the quadcopter, but I'm totally going to make one of these. I just love that you put a camera in the head because you could talk about surveillance. No one would know. Everyone would be so stoked to see that. They wouldn't care if it was like, if you saw that at a nude beach, you'd be so excited.
Yeah, I mean, it works better than birds or even a pterodactyl because people would be so excited to see it. They'd just be like, oh, come on in. Yeah, look at our nuclear.
But what I love about these these crafters is a lot of them have put tutorials up on makezine.com or instructables.com.
That is really
so
cool.
you can do it yourself. And I think that's the whole point too, is more and more people are tinkering with these things.
And they don't feel like I have to be the only guy with the stars on
like this one, I think this was the one, it's either the Millennium Falcon or,
Yes.
And he put lights on it. Dude, how cool is this?
This is pretty cool. He just cut it out of like some really light rubber material.
Yeah.
And then he painted it and put the LED light kit on it.
So
I was wondering if there were heat
pretty.
issues.
No heat issues at all.
So cool. Look at that. That's better than the original hunk of junk.
It's it turns really well too.
Yeah.
There's so much control.
You hovered with that thing?
Would it help if I got out and pushed?
It might.
You don't have to impress me,
Oh my God, we're gonna just keep quoting. We know all the Millennium Falcon quotes.
But I always say this, but it does bother me that I don't see compartments to smuggle stuff in. I feel like that's an important part of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, where's Chewbacca sit?
No, see, he's actually smuggling the quadcopter. That's the beauty of it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, don't tell me the odds. Sorry, just had to sneak that one in there. And it's also, the footage is great too, because where they're filming it actually looks kind of, I mean, obviously it's Earth, but it's kind of spacey. So this is the TIE Inceptor. The Inceptor.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's still a TIE Fighter. It's just TIE Fighter Inceptor, which is Vader's TIE Fighter. Geek alert.
Because it's pointy.
Because it's pointy.
Put that phone down.
This is by the same guy.
No, I got a text from Will Wheaton, so I had to hold up my phone. Name drop.
The same,
it's the same guy. I think it's even the same drone.
Yeah, it's the same guy. The same guy did the Millennium Falcon, did the Inceptor.
Same model drone. He's putting different body on top of him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I want to see him do like an Obi-Wan's ghost drone.
Now, here's the thing. Right? You can't do all of the vehicles in Star Wars because I don't think they really lend themselves for copter capabilities. But like Slave 1, I think would be a little difficult.
The B-Wing.
Even, God, there's so many. Like, I'd love to see a Probot done as a drone because it would be great for surveillance because that's what they were used
Plus they
for.
sound cool.
Plus they sound cool. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Steven about this earlier before the podcast. Is why aren't we seeing any Star Trek ones? Because I would love to see the Enterprise or a Klingon ship, maybe. I don't know. I think it would be cool to have other ships involved. Come on, Firefly fans.
Yeah, I was just.
Come on, brown coats. I want to see a Serenity. Let's see a Serenity drone.
Yeah.
Kickstarter. Sorry.
Well, there is. For Harry Potter fans, there is sort of like the drone equivalent of Quidditch, which is this thing that Anthony wrote about. What's Zyro, Anthony?
Oh God, Anthony.
Yeah, so I don't know if I could describe Zyro in a statement. It'd be that they're trying to make drones basically balls in sports. So like a tennis ball, you use a little racket to send the drone back and forth to someone.
Now, all I keep thinking is if I saw these people in a park, I would beat them up. Because first of all, you're pretending to hit a ball, which you could do without a drone for free. And also, the second thing is most kids are going to want to whack the crap out of that thing.
Yeah.
Well,
So anybody under the age of 20 is probably going to destroy it within 5 minutes of playing.
I don't think that's who it's for, though. I think because you can use a drone to play with another drone with this thing. And so I think it's for people who already have a drone and they're trying to find new stuff to do with it.
If they have drones...
Trying to justify the purchase.
If they feel that their drone is lonely and needs a drone friend to play racquetball with, I would understand that.
Dronely.
Like they go to Droneder.
Yeah, Droneder. Just wait. Just you wait.
They hover left, hover right.
Yeah. Now, if it's drone versus drone, that's kind of cool, but this just looks like hipsters in a park.
There should be
miming.
a
Showing
spy
off their
versus
toys.
spy licensed one.
Yeah.
And And yeah, so it really is hipsters in a park. And and sadly, they so this was launched as a Kickstarter campaign, and they only raised about $2,000 out of their $50,000 goal. So this project was not funded, as cool or weird as it was.
Nobody wanted to be looking like that in the park, huh?
Yeah. It's no hoverboard Kickstarter.
But what is really?
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like I guess I shouldn't mock people for trying to do innovating new ways to play in the park, but it just seems so silly. It just seems like a very expensive hipster hobby. Whereas again, if it's a drone on drone type thing, which I know sounds dirty, but if it's drone on drone type sports, that's cool. But if it's just people pretending to hit a ball in the park with rackets and it's a drone hovering around them, I kind of feel sad for them.
It's like if you wanted the embarrassment of playing the Wii, but outside in front of people,
where everyone can see it.
Yeah,
That's so true.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be cooler if it was a way to get people to exercise. Like if you had drones chasing you, like Zombie Run, but it's a drone.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Well, people already have to chase their drones. I don't know. Like I saw a lost drone poster in my neighborhood.
Oh.
I gave Steven the link, but I think we might have actually shown that here before.
I think I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor lost drone.
Yeah, it's just like a lost pet thing, and there's the area that they think it probably got lost in, and then there's a larger area drawn on that it might have escaped to. And
well, maybe we'll start seeing more and more drone nappings. I don't know. Like people
we also
kidnap drones.
We also, like a month ago or 2 months ago, posted that video of a guy who his drone was going to fall into the water, and he just ran in.
They just totally that was
saved
awesome.
it at the last second. Yeah.
Oh,
good for him.
See, exercise.
Yeah.
So
just play near water.
Quick poll to wrap things up. Before we have to go, let's do a quick poll. How long do we each think it'll be until we actually see drones in our lives on a daily basis? I'm giving it 5
I feel like
years.
It's now. I feel now.
Maybe as soon as 2.
I feel like we have drones in our lives on a daily basis now.
Yeah.
In a way.
Steven, I think for you it's a little different because professionally
we all work for Crave.
Well, okay, think of where you grew up. If you didn't grow up in California, I grew up in Kansas. So the only way I could think drones being used as opposed to just kids being bored and they want something to do is for farming.
Crop dusting really small crops.
Crop dusting's not a bad idea, actually, because crop dusting's really super dangerous.
This ain't like dusting crops, boy.
Might be illegal now, actually.
Probably.
I don't know. But
actually, I wonder about people growing pot up in California, like northern up here, because you need to sort of patrol your boundaries and such.
Well,
I gather.
There's been some stories that have been floating around the internet about DEA using drones to find pot fields. And I was just saying, I can't wait till they start finding all dead bodies, because every Law and Order episode, someone finds a dead body in a park. So now
that's why I don't go to the park.
Drones are going to be starting. Well, if you watch Secrets and Lies, you could be number one suspect. So that's why, right. So I don't know. I feel like drones will be used more and more. There's recreational drones, and then there's commercial use drones, right? So
and then there's medical drones.
And then there's medical drones. I think recreational drones were already
medical
there.
Drones.
I need a drone for my glaucoma, okay?
Oh my God, that's such a great idea. I need lowers my high blood pressure. I need a helper drone. It's like a helper monkey.
Anxiety drone, yeah.
Anxiety drone.
With water balloons.
They'd let me take it on the plane. I need it.
I think we're already there recreationally. I think there's already people have drones for fun. But as far as commercial use drones, I think maybe I'm going to say we're a year away. I think we're a lot closer.
I'm going to say dramatic pause. I'm going to go for 5 years because it seems like a really good idea, and I just expect somebody's going to screw it up.
I thought you were going to do a Price is Right. We're going to get a year and a month. Year and a day.
$1, Bob.
I'm going to go way out on a limb here and say I don't think it's going to happen.
Really? Because of regulations and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's too complicated, too dangerous. I don't think it's going to happen.
That's why we don't have hover cars.
Yeah.
What he said.
Well, we may not be the country that does it. There might be other countries
Japan.
Liechtenstein.
Japan.
UK had the mistletoe drone before we got the mistletoe drone for
and
TGI
what a good
Fridays.
idea that was.
Well, that was weird because the TGI Fridays one that happened here in the United States, it was a press event, and the journalist knocked it out of the sky and it hit her in the nose. That was...
Do not taunt the drone.
Don't taunt the drone. I mean, mistletoe drone is that's high pressure dating right
That's
there.
only one piece of flair.
Okay.
How did it keep its job?
How do they even know they're on a date?
Yeah.
What if somebody has military flashbacks?
Look at this. What happens? He goes in for the kiss. Come on,
Oh, hell no.
Hell no. What if it's brother and sister? This guy.
Well, it depends on what state you're in.
It's gonna mess up your hair, so you don't look good for your date.
She kissed him. I don't know. I know.
Creepy drone.
So that's the thing. Like, it may not be us. It may be Japan and maybe the UK, where they don't have the same regulations we do as far as what's in the sky and what we're allowed to shoot down. And I don't know.
That's horrifically dangerous.
Anthony, what's your take from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably biased because I live, in the middle of nowhere. Although 5 million people live here, but we're probably still 2 or 3 years away, even recreationally. So probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 years to start seeing drones flying all around us.
Well, here's the thing, too. In the Midwest, more and more people will be apt to shoot them down out of the sky. I know.
We're a little more progressive than that, but maybe.
Not where I'm from. Wyoming and Colorado, definitely, they already have that in city council meetings where are we allowed to shoot drones that come over our property. So I think they're...
Deer Trail, Colorado.
Yeah, I think
it was Deer Trail, Colorado.
They're less worried about Amazon, more worried about Big Brother. That's, that's more of a militia thing, I think. But anyway, I don't know. I would like to see more drones. I just don't want to see my sky flooded with tiny little drones with tiny little packages everywhere. So
what? You look at me when you say tiny package?
No.
Thanks.
No.
Jesus.
You look like you were going to say something profound. I didn't mean to. Yeah, sorry.
Profound or profane?
Either. I don't know.
It's a Tuesday.
I mean, here's the thing. If I get a drone, the first place I'm flying it is Area 51. So.
Yeah. Well, it'll get shot
Well,
down
they've
right
already
now.
moved everything to the new place anyway.
What, the Apple complex?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good segue. Wasn't there a video of a drone on the new Apple?
I think we're actually wrapping up.
Oh, sorry, Eric.
Yeah,
I just
Kelsey,
Kelsey,
why don't you take us out?
Yeah, keep us on track.
Take us out with a teaser for the Flash.
Oh,
completely apropos of nothing.
Okay, so
well, they're fast.
The Flash has been gone for a month, and the new episode is finally tonight. I'm really excited. And one reason I was talking about it with Eric was that I did a couple posts on Crave about the show, and one of them was about that prison, that ridiculous prison that they have, where they lock everybody up forever with no rights and no food, no human contact, and no view,
toilets,
nothing to read, not even a bed, right?
Yeah.
Does it look like this?
Oh, that's
Apple campus.
Apple campus.
So the network is actually trying to defuse that. I mean, not in response to my post, but just a lot of people have been asking. And so they're doing a series of blog posts now by Cisco, who's one of the characters, about what great care he takes of everybody. Only it's so disgusting. Like, they have one female prisoner, and it's all about how he, like, barges in and she, like, turns her back and tries to make him go away, and then she talks about her boyfriend, and he's all mad that she's friend zoning him. Okay, so here's a romance tip, guys. You can disappear somebody, or you can complain that she's friend zoning you. You really can't do both.
Yeah.
Without sounding a little slimy. So.
Wow, that's like dating
Just a
tips
smidge.
at Guantanamo Bay dating tips.
Right? That should not be necessary, and yet apparently the CW is confused about that.
Wow.
So anyway,
Okay.
but I love the show. I'm looking forward to it. That's tonight. Yay.
Yay.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time that we've got for this CraveCast. So for the rest of us at the Weird Throne, take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next month on the CraveCast.